All right, we're still in the month of April. I know a lot of you guys are celebrating Easter, which is garbage and devil worship. So I'm gonna tell you guys about Passover, the holiday we're actually supposed to celebrate. What is it about? When did it start? And why do we celebrate? That ye shall say, it is a sacrifice of the Lord's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses. And the people bowed the head and worshipped. Exodus chapter 12, verse 20. Passover is a holiday where we celebrate our deliverance from the hand of our enemies. When God sent the 10 plagues on Egypt. And basically we just praise God and be thankful and eat unleavened bread. I can't really pronounce it. There was 10 plagues that God sent on Egypt to convince the Pharaoh to let us go, while also it was a direct attack on the most popular Egyptian gods, if you want to call them that, while also showing the Israelites the power and lengths God will go through for us. Exodus chapter 7, verse 17. Thus saith the Lord, and this thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in my hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood, and the fish in the river shall. This was a direct attack on Sobek, the crocodile god of the Nile River. Also, another thing is our people that be wearing this symbol, we need to put that away, because all it is just Egyptology. It has no power, just ideology. Exodus chapter 8, verse 5. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying unto Aaron, stretch forth thine hand with thy rod over the streams and over the rivers and over the ponds, and cause frogs to come upon the land of Egypt. This was a direct attack on Hequet, the frog idol goddess, and this was the second plague that fell upon Egypt.
I huddle and hugs, sparring and straining, bro. Ramses watching rain and frogs.
Exodus 8:16. And the Lord said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. And jump down to verse 21. Chapter 8, verse 21. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy house, and the house of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground. That was the third and the fourth plague against their scarab god, Kepri. You got to think, we were in Egypt for almost 400 years, so Moses has to let the people know there is no scarab god. These are all idols, and there's only one true God. Behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. And there shall be very grievous murrain, and the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, and there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel. So you see how God passed over the children of Israel's things to vex the Egyptians. This was the fifth plague that fell upon Egypt, and it was a direct attack on their cow goddess, Hathor, to smite all the cows and the horses and basically the meats, so that the Egyptians would starve. Exodus chapter 9 and verse 9. And it shall become small dust in the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with blains upon man and upon beast throughout all the land of Egypt. This is the sixth plague that fell upon Egypt, which was a direct attack on their idol goddess, Qitesh, supposedly their goddess of beauty and health. Women today still follow Egyptian customs set by that god. Like, for example, this look. Now, even though this is supposed to be an Egyptian, you know how Edomites try to change, make everybody look like them. So, picture is much darker, but you get.
And Moses stretched forth his rod towards heaven, and the Lord sent thunder and hail, and fire ran along upon the ground, and the Lord rained hail upon the land of Egypt. Jump down to verse 26. Only in the land of Goshen where the children of Israel were no hail.
This was the seventh plague that fell upon Egypt, which is a direct attack on their idol god Nut, or Newt, the goddess actually of the sky. Trash. And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and the Lord brought an east wind upon the land that day and that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts, and the locusts went up over all the land of Egypt and rested in the coast of Egypt. The eighth plague that fell against Egypt was against their god Osiris, one of the most popular gods of Egypt. I'm sure you've heard of him. Osiris is the idol god of vegetation and death, so obviously killing their vegetation and starving them out furthermore vexed the Egyptians.
Exodus 10, verse 22. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt for 3 days.
How long?
3 days!
This was the ninth plague that fell upon Egypt, which was a direct attack on their sun god Ra, which you can see here being depicted with the sun over his head. He's supposed to have power over the sun and of light and things of that nature. That's why God made it dark in the land of Egypt for 3 days. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of the Pharaoh that son his throne unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the Dugan, and all the firstborn of the cattle. And Pharaoh rose up in the night, he and all his servants and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. This was a direct attack on Isis, their goddess of life, showing that their idol could not even protect their first. Exodus 12, verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and I will smite all the firstborn in